So the Panthers won, which means the Leafs lost. And instead of talking about the Panthers, because what else is there to say, really? We've said everything we need to say on the ice and in the presser afterward. Let's talk about the Leafs for a second. Let's talk about them. Because it needs to be addressed. And everybody's addressing it today. And so I'll address it. Here's what I think. I think you run into problems in life when you lie. I think the bulk of misery, the majority of our problems stem from us being dishonest. I tend to be honest to a I'm using this as a I tend to be honest to a fault, which I don't subscribe to that. But culturally, because I'm American, culturally, I'm honest to a fault. It's off-putting. I'm off-putting to people. I get that, because I'm fucking autistic and I'm not. But I I'm fucking weird. I'm weird and intense. I do get that. The majority of our problems in life stem from being dishonest with ourselves. So let's be honest. And I'll give you the answer first, and then we'll go to the question. So the answer is Barkov is the guy. The answer is Crosby's the guy. McKinnon's the guy. Rantanen is the guy. Kucherov is the guy. Sam Reinhart is the guy. Tavares ain't the guy. Matthews ain't the guy. Nylander ain't the guy. Marner. That's funny. The question is, who steps up? It's a simple question. Who steps up? Barkov's the guy. McDavid's the guy. Who steps up? I mean, we have our answer. It's been answered the past, like 9 seasons. It's been a fucking decade, dude. Pretty much. I'll watch the Leafs lose forever. Like, I don't have, I don't have skin in it. I feel bad for their fans. I feel really bad for Leaf fans. This one is different. This one was a death. The atmosphere is funereal in the whole hockey world. Like, everybody feels fucking just pity. They're pitiable. They're pitiful. It's tragic. Because you have good people. You have good people living up and down King Street or whatever, and you know what I mean. You have good people all over Ontario, dude. Besides Ottawa, you have good people, including Ottawa, even. You have good people all over Ontario. Forget about the world, and forget about North America. Just the province of Ontario. And even the province of Ontario minus Ottawa. You have people who go to work and save money and I feel so bad for them. When the Panthers, when we were at our worst, Brian McCabe earned that captaincy. At our worst, Brian McCabe earned. Mike Weaver earned. Earned. They had it half right. They had it half right. And they didn't do it at the right time. They didn't do it the right way, obviously. But stripping Tavares of the captaincy was absolutely the right thing to do. Everything else about it was done so fucking horribly and stupidly and poorly and dumbly and every other way. So, to strip the captaincy from Tavares and turn and pin it onto Matthews is like the moment that was the moment I knew, because I've been following Austin since he was in fucking junior. So just like Shane, you know, I guess I'm always interested in the Sunbelt kids. Jake, you know, because Jeff played for us, and Jeff still does. What does Jeff do? Jeff does like, Jeff's on a mic. He does broadcasting for us. Look, Austin Matthews ain't the fucking guy, dude. And all you have to do is follow USA Hockey. He ain't the guy. He ain't the guy. So, if he ain't the guy on Team USA, you think you give him the captaincy? He didn't earn it. He scored a bunch of goals. He's like a 3-time Richard winner. That's what do you fucking do? He scored goals. If you, and see that kind of, that's like, then you start to get into the mindset of like why Toronto is such a raging dumpster fire. And then you understand, like, they gave the captaincy to the guy who scores the most goals. And then they wonder why the Game 7 collapses. If scoring goals mattered, truly, in terms of a captaincy, in terms of earning a captaincy, if scoring goals matter, somebody tell that to fucking Luongo. If we're giving the captaincy to the guy who scores the most goals, somebody forgot to mention that to Lou. Somebody forgot to tell Luongo. What are we doing? Like, what are we even talking about? We're talking about a captain. McCabe had his jaw broken. McCabe's jaw was fucking broken. And he went into the tunnel. They, like, did a temporary, like, we're gonna secure your jaw to your fucking head. And he came back out and finished the game, and then was out for a while because he had a broken fucking jaw. And came back to finish the game. Austin Matthews. And no, you don't know, my criteria for being a captain is not you come back into the game if you have a broken jaw. But does Matthews. And it's just being honest with yourself. It's just being honest. And you have to say, like, we're fucking losers. We're not a championship team because if we were, then we would be a championship team, but we're not, so we're not. And it's not the same thing as the Dallas Stars, and it's not the same thing as the Edmonton Oilers, and it's not the same thing as the Carolina Hurricanes, and it's not the same thing. Because of the 4 teams left, 3 of them will go home with hands empty. And it's not the same thing. Those are all championship teams. The Dallas Stars are a championship team. The Carolina Hurricanes are a championship organization. Classy group. The Edmonton Oilers are a championship organization. One goal. One goal, and we go to overtime. And then it's back to Tabula Rasa. So the Leafs, you acknowledge now. You say, we are not a championship team. We need to find the biggest bomb we can find, and we need to blow everything up. And you start with Brendan Shanahan. You start with Brendan Shanahan, and you need a president of hockey operations. What you don't need is a Brendan Shanahan. What we don't need is a Lou Lamoriello. Lamoriello? I don't know how to fucking say his dumb name. We don't need them. What we need, we don't need Cam Neely. Where are the Bruins right now? Scattered to the 1,000 winds, dude. On 1,000 different golf courses. The Bruins right now are sipping 1,000 beers on 1,000 different greens, dude. And the Dallas Stars are going to be playing for the Western Conference Championship tomorrow. So scattered to the 1,000 winds, sipping 1,000 beers on 1,000 different greens. Because the whole rule by dictator thing, it doesn't work. In today's NHL, it does not work. We don't get anywhere without Billy Zito listening to scouts. We don't get anywhere without Billy Zito listening to scouts. If I don't even know who the president of hockey ops is in Florida, and that's the way it should be. You shouldn't know. When Bill Torrey was our president and our fearless leader, and he was our dictator, it was the darkest years after the Cup run and after Bure. It was dark. No dictators, man. No dictators. Because here's the thing. Sometimes you get Brendan Shanahan, and he's a fucking idiot. Right? He's a fucking idiot. Go back to the firing of Kyle Dubas and tell me that was handled appropriately. Shanahan's a fucking clown. And everyone's afraid to say it because he's a fucking hero. The same way everyone's afraid to say anything bad about Yzerman. Brendan Shanahan's a fucking clown. There was never a Shana plan. There was, let me spend money unwisely. That was it. That was the whole plan. The whole plan was, let me throw big stacks of cash at guys who can win a President's Trophy. Okay. So the Leafs So the Leafs play in the regular season, and they play well. And then they get to the playoffs, and everybody says, I want to win the Stanley Cup. I'm going to play playoff hockey now because I want to win the Stanley Cup. And the Leafs go, we're daddy's best little boys, and we are so talented. Look at how talented we all are. We're so good. Look at how good we all are. Meanwhile, they lose. But they're daddy's good little boys, and they're so precious, and don't ever say anything unkind in their vicinity, about them, near them. Treat them like they don't exist. Venerate them like gods, while simultaneously treating them like they don't exist. If you see Willie Nylander walking down the street, embrace him like a cousin, while simultaneously averting your gaze, not making eye contact, and completely ignoring him. So you have these two parallel lines of thought, and they're both bullshit. And it's time. It's time. The Leafs fans deserve better. They deserve better. They deserve better. They deserve so much better. Because they've earned it. The Leafs fans have earned better. They have earned a championship team. The last time the Maple Leafs won the Stanley Cup, it was broadcast in black and white. Man had not set foot on the moon yet. They've earned a championship team, those fans. And they got one with the Raptors. Which, by the way, dude, if you're going to name a fucking team, dude, the Raptors is still to this day, dude. Tell me a better name for a franchise. I'll wait, dude. The Toronto Raptors. That's a sick fucking name, dude. The Raptor is the coolest of all dinosaurs. Come on now. Those fans deserve better, dude. They deserve a championship team. Detroit, Chicago, Boston, New York, you know? And Montreal in 93. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we doing? Just one team for 16,000 years can't do a thing? It's because the fans are too intense. Oh, you mean like Bostonians? Every time we say this shit about the Leafs, like people, it's like the rest of the world doesn't exist, ceases to exist. Like reality fades away, and then we're in this like vacuum chamber where we talk about the Leafs as if they are like a totem pole in the middle of the fucking ocean, and nobody could possibly relate to them. They're this like enigma. Meanwhile, the Boston Bruins currently exist. They exist. They currently exist. Like, what happened? Could somebody... 2011, did that happen? And then did the fans in Boston... They were... Because what they do in Boston, they all hold hands and they sing, Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Dude, they'll show up to your fucking door. They'll show up to your door at 4 a.m. and fucking tell you you're a cock-sucking bum. They'll throw Dunkin' Donuts iced coffees at your fucking window. What are we talking about? Somebody was mean to fucking Marner? Somebody said something to him on the street and it offended him because they mentioned his family? A Bostonian will tell I remember like the Bruins will like lose a game, and a Bostonian will go like to like Charlie McAvoy and be like, "You need to fucking, you know, come on, guy. Like we need to get it together, guy. And fucking, what are we doing? What are we doing, guy?" And they're the most intense fans. You're telling me that the fucking Flyers, that's a tension-free environment playing in Philly? I mean, what a joke, dude. What a fucking joke. You think your fans are stupid. You called them the noise. You think they're stupid. You hate them. Just be honest. You hate your fan base. Toronto. You hate your fans. The people who make it so you can flip a switch and the lights go on in Rogers Place or Scotiabank Arena, whatever the fuck it's called. The people who enable you to turn the lights on, you hate. You feel nothing but contempt for them. Be honest. You don't care about your fan base. And so you're okay insulting them to their faces. Because you know that you take advantage of their loyalty, their kindness, their good nature, and the fact that they're just always going to be there, and they're always going to support you. And then somebody throws a fucking jersey, and you go, oh! You're lucky the jersey wasn't on fucking fire. You're lucky it wasn't on fire when it landed. The disconnect is I mean the cognitive dissonance that you need to be in the fucking Maple Leafs front office. I genuinely, honestly cannot imagine. I can't conceive of that kind of like insanity. Just, it's schizophrenic. It's a complete break from reality. It's you know, you're fully splitting from reality at that point. You're fully split from fucking reality at that point. This Maple Leafs team should be what the Tampa Bay Lightning were, and instead they're well, what are they? We've never seen anything like it. In hockey, I've been watching hockey mostly my entire life. I've been watching hockey since 1993. I've never seen anything like this. Not like this. Nobody has. This is unique in the history of the National Hockey League. Organized hockey, organized professional hockey anywhere. This would be a first. A team that challenges for a President's Trophy every year and then departs. Their souls leave their bodies. The moment the regular season ends, their souls depart from their bodies. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Because you have to try to do that. It has to be something like willful and intentional. The odds are like it's like the odds of me being a solid object and like the wall being a solid object, and just so happening that every atom in my hand phases through every atom in that wall. Technically possible. Technically. It is hypothetically, technically possible that every atom atom in my fucking hand, avoids every atom in that wall, and there's just nothing. Okay? It's the odds of it happening are zero. The odds are zero. And it's important to acknowledge that the odds are zero. Because there's what's like hypothetically and what's on paper and what's on whatever. And then there's like, hi, welcome to the real world. Shit's solid. You're never going to put your hand through it. It's going to hurt really badly if you try. So the whole ignoring reality thing, the whole just like, I don't understand it. But it's what your problem is. If you're the Maple Leafs, I'm not going to pause the video. I'm going to fucking eat. So, in summation, the Leafs lost because there was never any other alternative. It was the only thing that was ever going to happen. And we all knew it. So then if you're, and again, this is like, this is hypothetical because it's not going to happen. But if you're the Maple Leafs front office and you like, let me look in the mirror. And you say, hey, maybe we should change something. If you do that, but you're not going to. You're not going to. They're not going to. Does anyone think they're going to? They'll trade some people. It won't be the people you think. Some people will walk. It will be the people you think. And the Leafs will get worse. And it won't be them getting worse before they get better. It'll just be them getting worse. They've reached their zenith. And it's all downhill. Now, it's all down. Window is closed. And the window's slammed shut, and now it's time to blow the house up. It's time to find the biggest bomb you can find. It's time to turn the gas on. It's time to just let the house fill up with gas. Just blow it up. Blow it up. But they're not going to. Because how did we all know that they would? How did we all know that they would lose? Not suspect. Not even bet money on them losing. No. We knew. The conclusion is foregone. They're going to win Game 6. They will lose Game 7. We all knew this. And then they... it's like if you set choreography and then you watch it play out. It's like, yeah, you knew it was going to happen because you set the choreo. We've seen these dance steps before. The dance steps haven't changed, so you know what's coming. I just feel bad for the Leafs fans, man. So yeah, I don't have to say anything about the Panthers. I don't have to say anything about us. And there were years, man. There were years, dude. We at one point, we had Brian Allen. I mean, we had literally Frankenstein. Just on our blue line, we had a fucking Frankenstein. There were some dark years, dude. And I like Brian Allen. I'm not trying to shit on Brian Allen. I like Brian Allen, but for fuck's sake, I remember being so excited when we fucking signed Steven Reinprecht. I was over the moon. I was like, this guy fucking played for Adler Mannheim. This guy's good. Getting a good Adler Mannheim player was like, because we were an AHL team barely playing in the NHL because fucking what's his face, Cliff Viner made sure to ice an AHL team, made sure to sign guys like Rusty Olesh, and we. It was so dark. Like there were only 6 of us. Truly, there were 6 of us. And like all the fans now, like I love them, but they weren't like during the dark days. People didn't. So one time I remember I was on a flight back from Toronto, and I land in Miami, and a guy on my flight. I'm wearing my Panthers jersey at the time because obviously I'm flying on first of all, I'm on a fucking Air Canada flight, which is like what I should be doing is I should be taking the flight hostage. I should be hijacking the plane and crashing it to the ground. It would be doing Air Canada a favor. But so if you've ever flown Air Canada, I mean, you may as well have walked. You would have had a better experience if you walked back to Florida from Toronto than taking an Air Canada flight. It would have been a genuinely better experience to have been dragged by a fucking horse and buggy, dragged behind a horse and buggy on my ass, and have my ass rubbed raw the entire way. It's beside the point. Air Canada is objectively a nightmare. So I get off the plane, land in Miami. This is back when I was smoking cigarettes. Obviously, I'm puffing cigs, dude. The moment I get out to ground transportation, I'm fucking puffing a cig, dude. Who are we dealing with? So I'm puffing my cig. A French Canuck walks up to me. This fucking French Canadian, guy who is a piece of shit, because he's French Canadian. I'll just, blanket, like if you're French Canadian, I don't like you, you're a piece of shit. And then if I get to know you and then you're a good person, well, then you're an individual person. Everybody's an individual person, sure. The French Canadians I fucking hate. Okay. I hate French Canadians. So, and I just do. Individually, you're a wonderful person. I do love you. You're deserving of God's love, and I love you. I fucking hate French Canadians. So this French Canadian hunk of shit comes up to me. Do you have a letter? I go, yeah, a letter, dude. Then we start talking hockey, and he's smoking his cigarette that he's only smoking because I was so kind as to fucking provide him the gift of fire, like Prometheus. And this hunk of shit goes, the Panthers, you will be in Quebec City soon, yes. You will move to Quebec City. And I went, something along the lines, because if you do know me, you know that I enjoy confrontation. So I said something along the lines of he should fuck something. He should fuck himself or his mother. He should fuck somebody or something. And they then all of a sudden, sacre bleu, I did not say anything to you to deserve of that. Yeah, but also fuck yourself and fuck your mother. I'm that guy. Like, I'll tell you to fuck yourself right after we got off the flight. Like, I don't care. So I told him to fuck himself. And so that was what we were dealing with for forever, dude. You'd be on a flight, and somebody would be like, your team's going to move to Quebec City. So, yeah, so basically, I know what the Leafs fans are going through. I know what Leafs fans are going through, and it sucks. And I feel bad for them. Also, I don't hate French Canadians. I don't know why I said that. Actually, no, I do. I fucking hate French Canadians. Now you're never going to know if I do or not. Alright, I don't hate anyone. Or do I? You're never going to know. It's the way I like it. So those are my thoughts on the Maple Leafs. You know, they're a it's like if you take a if you it's like they're like a Home Depot bucket filled with hot diarrhea. And it's important that they acknowledge that, because that's the only way you can improve. You can't say we were so close. No, you're a Home Depot bucket, a Home Depot bucket filled with diarrhea that has been put in the microwave and made hot. Like, remember that story of the homeless guy who you build a fire, and you put a stainless steel pot on it, and then you fill the pot with diarrhea, and you get the diarrhea scorching hot, and then you pour it into a Home Depot bucket. I just described the Toronto Maple Leafs. The end.